nothing to say, nowhere to go, nothing to do. I have no promises to make, no one to know, nothing to prove. It's a strange sort of existence, but somehow it seems so true. The only thing I really know is that I don't know a thing. The only sound that I hear now is the silence when I sing. The only sight my eyes can see is the darkness of my dreams. This is how I'm born to be empty. I know nothing is wrong, nothing is right, all is in all. Right now, everything's gone, ambition and fight, no expectations at all. It's a new kind of intention, but somehow it seems so right. The only thing I really know is that I don't know a thing. The only sound that I hear now is the silence when I sing. The only sight my eyes can see is the darkness of my dreams. This is how I'm born to be. I'd be perfectly fine if I stayed this way forever. Nothing on my mind, and I've never felt better. That I don't know a thing. The only sound that I hear now is the silence when I sing. The only sight my eyes can see is the darkness of my dreams. This is how I'm born to be. This is how I'm born to be. Empty.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. And good morning, New Thought, Philadelphia. Welcome to Zoom again. So Sunday celebration from the cozy comfort of your own couch. or wherever it is that you happen to be perched upon. We are fully taking advantage of the environment that we are in because we're zooming in from all over the country, and it looks like some all over the world as well, including music coming to us from Orange County, California. So very, very excited. So we'll follow the usual Zoom rules, which is to keep your microphone muted most of the time, unless you're actually sharing something, or a couple of times during the celebration where we like to just make a joyful noise together. And this is one of those. So go ahead and unmute your microphone if you like and repeat after me. I open myself to love.
I
I open myself to love.
I open myself to joy.
I open myself to joy.
Joy.
I open myself to the awareness of the good surrounding me.
I open myself to the
My
awareness
awareness
of
to
the
good
good
surrounding me.
I know love is right here, right now.
I
know
know love
love is right here, right now.
And so it is.
So it is.
And so it is.
And so it is. Now try exercising that mute button one more time for yourselves. I am Reverend Bill Marcioni, our special musical guest today. I'm just so excited to have Daniel Nahmod joining us. And our practitioner of the day and MC is Breen Rourke, our SCP.
Thank you, Bill. Good morning, everyone. New Thought Philadelphia is an open and loving community of spiritual adventurers, welcoming each person to experience their divine nature in an empowering space of unconditional love. Whatever path you've been on, whatever brought you here today, wherever you're going next, we've been waiting for you. We love you and welcome. Now, we believe there is one power, love, intelligence, or force that creates everything, including each of us, and that we each use that same power, love, intelligence, or force to create our lives according to our beliefs, or as we like to say around here, our new life begins with a new thought. Take a moment now to silence any unnecessary devices. You might have an Android phone, you might have an Apple phone, you might have an Apple Watch, you might have an iPad. Don't ask me why I have all this stuff out on my desk right now, but I do. And we're going to begin our celebration the way we like to begin everything, by prayer. So I invite you to just take a moment and settle in to this moment, this now moment, this one moment. Because that's all we have is now. That's all there is now. This one now. It's an expression of that one creative spirit, the one infinite source, the field of unlimited potentiality. That's all there is, and we are part of it. And it is here now in its fullness. It's always, everywhere, fully present. So I know that this celebration is an expression of that one. The words, the music, the ideas, the fellowship, even the technology that brings us together is an expression of spirit. And I'm so very grateful for it. Grateful for all these bright lights of love that are here now. Grateful for everyone everywhere uplifting their consciousness and awareness of that one power and presence. So with love and gratitude, I release this word into the creative law, that same law that said yes before time began and continues to say yes and always says yes. Yes, yes, yes. And so it is. Yay. So, the reason we pray, guess what? It works. So now's the time we like to open it up to the community for folks to share how prayer is working in their lives. So we call it Prayer Work Story. So you can raise your hand in your Zoom window, or you can click the little reaction button and raise your hand. Hannah.
Hey, so I've a couple things lately. I have a coworker that I have kind of a difficult relationship and have had like that for months or the past year, that on and off. It's stressful, and she's one of our techs, so it's somebody that I like need help from a decent amount of time. So I was going to need a lot of her help on Monday, and I was stressing about it over the weekend, and we don't always communicate the best. And so I was praying about it with not like 100% believing, but like at least more than sometimes. And it ended up going really well. And our working relationship has been the best that it's been in a long time, like this whole week. So that's been really good. And I'd been like feeling really burnt out at work too. Like I hadn't taken any time off for an entire year because, you know, it was COVID and what are you gonna do anyway? And so, yeah, Joe had played with me about that, kind of figuring out how to kind of get some time and recharge and all of that. And my parents came to visit a few weeks ago and I had a couple of days off with them. So that was really nice. And then I had a trip out west that I planned, like really came together really easily. Like I was thinking like, where would I go? And also like, how would I have transportation? And do I even have anybody to go with? And so I wanted to go to the Grand Canyon. Ended up that my friend who lives outside of LA is going to come with me. So I'm going to go meet her. We're going to go to Joshua Tree. We're going to go to the Grand Canyon. She's going to drive. And my cousin, who I haven't seen in years, lives outside of LA, and I'm going to get to see her. She's going to pick me up from the airport. I talked to her yesterday. So kind of just all of that is coming together. And then I go in a little bit more than a week. So it's kind of my long-winded things that are going on right now.
Yay, that's great. Awesome, thank you. Who else? I've got one. Oh, Christine?
So like a little bit like Hannah, I've just been doing a lot and feeling a little burnt out and just praying for my self-care and being awareness of when to just stop doing stuff for other people and to just rest and take it easy for myself. And yeah, I've just been a lot more aware of that and conscientious of that. My dad has been dealing with a lot of health issues. He's been in and out of the hospital for easily 2 years with different stuff. He just got out of the hospital, is back home. It's like day 4 maybe of being home and rehabbing with PT and OT at home. So I've just been praying for his health and his spiritual strength. And like he's just getting better and stronger in every way, mentally, spiritually, physically, every day that I talk to him. So yeah, that's that.
Great. Thank you. That's awesome. Prayer works. Give it a whirl. Carla Ann.
Hi, everybody. So I have been on a job hunt for 11 and a half months. And my job before that, it was difficult. But a lot of good came out of that difficulty. And in the job hunt, when I was disappointed, I shut down. But the spiritual practices and the classes and praying with Reverend Bill and all of you have been helpful. And Kathy Shefsky, who's not here, wrote this great treatment for me. And I got a job. I was offered a job. I'm about to accept. I'm writing the negotiation letter as we speak. And it's amazing because, I work in outreach and advocacy, and I don't usually apply to jobs in cancer because it's hard to get into cancer if you haven't worked in it prior. But I just randomly applied to this job, and I am the new regional, I don't even know why I'm telling you this, but the regional community organizer for colorectal cancer. And so I'm really excited, and I'm so grateful to all of you because I don't think that it could have possibly happened without New Thought and spiritual practices and my beloved Reverend Dr. Buddha Bill. So thank you all.
Yay. Thank you, Carla Ann. It's beautiful. Prayer works. Health, healing, jobs, family, travel, good times, even canine behavior is improving. So prayer works. And now we've got announcements from Carla Ann.
I don't know how I was unprepared for that. Oh, hi. So this banquet of information can be found on our website at newthoughtphilly.org and in our weekly e-newsletter. Please sign up for it on the website. Twice a day, we have community check-ins and meditation on Zoom. They're inspiring and fun and less than 15 minutes, and everyone is welcome. They are awesome. And ANTN is holding a free one-day retreat on Friday, April 16th, my birthday. There will be 3 keynote sessions, an all-star concert, and lots of interesting and fun breakout rooms, including a New Thought Pray-a-thon and dance party led by the New Thought Philly Groove Team. Save the date for our social Scrabble on Friday, May 7th at 7:30. We'll randomly pair up in Zoom breakout rooms and spend 10 minutes one-on-one getting to know others in our community. After 10 minutes, we'll do it again in different pairs. We'd love to have you follow New Thought Philly on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and join the Philly Spiritual Adventurers group on meetup.com. A new Power of 8 session circle begins on Monday at 7 p.m. Sandy will be available in a breakout room after the celebration with info for anyone that's interested. The regional men's group meets the 3rd Monday every month at 7 p.m. on Zoom. The women's group meets the 4th Thursday at 7 p.m. Contact Joe or Sandy for info. And the teen group meets Sunday, May 2nd at 7 p.m. on Zoom. You heard a God call at the beginning of the celebration. You can subscribe and get God calls on your phone, interrupting you at random 4 times a week with a reminder that you are a bright light of God's love. And I just have to say, they're awesome. They're absolutely awesome. And they take seconds, and it's just a great thing in the middle of the day. Thank you to the production team and presenters who make our Zoom celebrations work. There's a short technical rehearsal on Saturday afternoon and a final check-in before the celebration on Sunday. To join the team, contact me. After I finish this, I'll put a little note in the chat. It's a great team, and it's like lots of fun to be part of this. We are starting to look for a new location to meet in person when it's safe to do so. If you have an idea for a Sunday location, please contact Breen or Reverend Bill. Next Sunday, our guest speaker is Reverend Retta Morgan, and her talk is Good Grief. It's important to grieve what we have lost, what we are in the midst of losing during this time of great change. And the music will be by Emily Drinker. Reverend Bill and the practitioners are available by appointment for professional prayer. After the celebration, Breen will be available for a Miracle in a Minute prayer at no charge. We'll leave the Zoom meeting open for people to talk amongst ourselves. And that's it. And so it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Carla Ann. And when we're in person, we have a special gift and a blessing for our second-time visitors. You bookmark that for when we get back together in person. We got gifts galore for folks. We also have a blessing and a welcome packet usually for our first-time visitors. So I know that Daniel is with us for the first time at a Sunday celebration today. If there's anybody else who is, just identify yourself. And what we're going to do is we're going to give you that blessing. Everybody else, you know what we're doing. We're going to rub our hands together, generate a little bit of warmth. You new people, just Jamie, just receive this one. We're going to generate some warmth so we feel the love. You are the bright light of God's love. Thank you for shining your light and sharing your love with us today. And welcome home. During the next song is usually the time that we wander around the room and hug each other. It's our greeting song. While we're on Zoom, we're going to connect eye to eye with the other folks. Just see who's in community together and make that connection. And this is a special treat for us as well, because we only at New Thought Philadelphia have one song that we repeat from week to week. It's our greeting song, and part of it is because people are so distracted during the song, they're wandering around, but also I'm in the right place at the right time is a perfect expression. And you guys have never heard it performed by the guy who wrote it. So we're going to go greet each other while Daniel plays for us.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, yeah. All right. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. There you go.
Beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now Annie is going to lead us in the flames of faith.
We perform this ceremony to acknowledge that all people and all faiths come from the one power, love, intelligence, which we call spirit or God. We honor the richness that comes from our shared diversity and bless the interwoven energy of the divine feminine and masculine. We light the first candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. As we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone or any place you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
Blessed be. Our reading today is going to be brought to us by Hannah, and I think it's from Spiritual Economics by Eric Butterworth.
It is, and this section is the law of visualization. One of the most important aspects of the study of truth is training the eyes to see properly. Since infancy, we have been using our eyes in progressive degrees of perceptiveness. However, a person is never really mature until he or she understands the basic process of visualization. We have been conditioned to believe that life is lived from outside in. We see things out there and we react with attitudes and feelings about them. Without question, what we see is as it is. Seeing is believing. This may give rise to defeatist comments such as, "What are you going to do? It's just the way things are." Sight is an interesting phenomenon. Things seen fall on the retina of the eye upside down, as in a camera. Through the nerve endings that are sensitive to light, we get the picture distributed over several recording points. However, by the miracle of vision, We do not see all the points. They are all transformed into one solid view. Even more, what the mind sees is not this solid picture that is communicated to the brain, but what your awareness has conditioned you to see. In other words, seeing is not believing, believing is seeing. You see things not as they are, but as you are. Your perception is shaped according to your previous experiences, according to your faith, according to where you are in consciousness. When something in your world is awry, inharmony in the office, a business venture that is not working out, or a bank balance that is insufficient to meet current obligations, normally the first concern is to set things right. However, when you understand the law of visualization, you will realize that the greatest need is not to set it right, but to see it rightly. Right seeing is one of the most important keys to the effective demonstration of truth. More important than changing things out there is changing the way you see them. In the words of the medieval mystic Brother Angelus, that thou seest, man becomes to thou must. God, if thou seest God, dust if thou seest dust. Thomas Troward puts the process of visualization succinctly when he says, having seen and felt the end, you have willed the means to the realization of the end. Having conceived and deeply felt something or experience, you have actually created the condition in mind that makes a particular result inevitable. It is fundamental law.
Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Hannah. That's Spiritual Economics is the class that we're teaching now based on that Eric Butterworth book. So I was so delighted that Daniel Nahmod agreed to do the music for us today. He has been doing, I don't know, it seems like daily concerts on Facebook since the pandemic began, just sharing his gifts and allowing people to anchor in his music. So it's a delight to have him here today. Usually the musicians give us their set list a couple of days in advance because we like to be organized and have all the pieces together. And Daniel's been doing this long enough that he says, I like to pick them on the fly. I like to just decide whatever's the inspiration. And most of our musicians, they'll give us the set list and they'll change their minds on the fly for exactly that same reason, because they've got a song that really fits. But then I thought back to when I was first exposed to Daniel's music, and some of his songs have been instrumental in my spiritual path. So I named the topic today after one of Daniel's songs, it's When I Pray. So here's Daniel Nahmod.
Thank you, sir. Hello, everybody. Nice to see you all. Happy spring. We just finished, obviously, some of us celebrating Easter, some of us celebrating Passover. In my family, we sort of semi-celebrate both. I grew up in a pretty traditional Jewish home. My wife grew up in a pretty traditional Catholic home, and now our home is not traditional at all. But when I was growing up, I was taught a lot of the rules of my religion, as was Melina taught the rules of her religion, and I'm sure some of you can relate and have learned the rules of your religion, the clothes the clergy wear, the book you read from, when you stand up and when you sit down during the service, and what holidays you celebrate and how you celebrate them. And it's all very specific and precise. And I was always more interested personally in whether I was nice and whether other people were nice. It sounds simplistic maybe, but it's really true. Like if somebody was kind, I didn't care what religion they were. And if somebody wasn't kind, I didn't care what religion they were. That was kind of it's just always been my principal value. So fast forward many years to when I'm writing songs for a living, and I was, we'll call the word inspired. It's maybe a little self-important sounding, but I was inspired to write some prayer songs, which if you grew up in any traditional religion, you know you don't write your own prayer songs. You sing the prayer songs you're given. But for me, writing prayer songs was an opportunity to do a couple things. One, it was an opportunity to put into words the kind of prayer I had always meant to pray, and maybe even the kind of prayer that I had doctored the traditional prayers into being. Don't tell the rabbi, you know. And it also gave me the opportunity to language some prayer songs in a way that threaded a needle, found a common ground amongst all the world's religions that I'm aware of. In other words, the prayer songs Danny writes are meant for all of the world's religions to sing, and in theory, all of the world's religions to pray together. So it's my secret, sneak, stealth attempt to build bridges. And again, talk about self-important. I know that this is the economics major, computer programmer in me says that this is a pipe dream and is nonsense, okay? But the songwriter in me writes these songs and languaged these songs, like My Soul is Welcome Here and like this next song, When I Pray. I wrote these songs specifically so that no one in any religion that I'm aware of would need to leave the room, if that makes sense. They're intended to be bridge building songs, which is why this song is specifically about the quiet space that we all seek and the quiet yearning that we all seem to have, from atheist to the most fundamentalist, for that most sacred spot, that yearning, that sacred love. That's what the songs are about, and that's what this song is about. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, you want to sing with me? I feel my soul, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, right where I am, I pray. Once more, right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God.
Beautiful, Daniel. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper. And that's the important thing to have happen when we pray, is to have that feeling within, that feeling of the connection to the love, that feeling, that belief that the prayer is working. When we're learning how to do practical prayer, when we're learning how to do this spiritual work, it's one thing to have it in our heads. It's one thing to get an idea of what it is that we're going to be creating or inviting, or the movement that we want to have. But it's when it drops down into our heart and into our gut that we feel it, that we're activating it, that we're inviting it. And prayer is a causative action. It is an element of consciousness that becomes active in the world. It creates new experiences. Actually, it invites new experiences. The creative law creates them, but we open the channel to allow them to come in. When I pray, what happens to me? What's the intention? What's the desire? What's the invitation that I'm setting? We get to ask ourselves, what's the experience that I'm choosing to have, that I'm preferring to have? What am I opening myself up to? And then the rest of the spiritual practice is about letting go of the things that aren't serving us anymore and opening ourselves up to new possibilities. We don't have to make it happen. Once we do the prayer work, once we open that channel in consciousness, the creative law that creates everything has a lot of leeway in exactly how it's going to bring that new stuff into our experience. And sometimes it is completely mundane. It's like, oh, well, it's about time that happened, or completely surprising. I never would have guessed that one, but in hindsight, that seems to be a perfectly acceptable channel for that new good experience to come into my life. The other thing that's important about prayer is to actually do the prayer. Every once in a while, we have something, oh, this is something that I'd like to have in my life, and I could pray for this. I could do a practical prayer. I could do a spiritual mind treatment to invite that into my life. And then we stop, knowing that we could do the treatment, and we could do the prayer. We don't do it. So the important part about doing the prayer is actually doing the prayer. Now, every once in a while, we have what we call a realization prayer, where it's instantaneous. There's a new desire that I have, and I suddenly realize that's available to me now. And the prayer is done even before I go through the steps or the formal process of praying. Not always. Not always, and don't count on that. It's fun when it happens, but the willingness to take the time to put the energy and the focus and the attention into doing the prayer is powerful. It is causative, because it is done unto you as you believe. That's absolutely true. I was talking to a minister friend of mine in Nashville, and he told the story of the senior minister his center shared, that one of the congregants had asked him, run into him and said, oh, I'm having this tremendous difficulty or pain, I think it was, a physical pain. Can you pray for me? And the minister said, yeah, I'll pray for you. Absolutely. And the guy was all grateful, and he went away. And the minister forgot. He forgot to do the prayer. And a couple of days later, the guy got back in touch with him and said, thank you so much for the prayer. I started feeling better immediately. And it's interesting because you think, oh, well, he didn't do the prayer. The fact of the matter is he'd done enough prayers for enough people and gotten enough different results that as soon as he told that person that he was going to pray for him, that person believed they were going to get better. That's where the prayer happened. The prayer happened in the mind of the person making the request because he told them, consider it done. That is an exception. I am not suggesting that you just tell people you're going to pray and then don't pray, because that will work right up until it stops working. Stop, drop, and pray. When something comes into your awareness, stop whatever it is that you're doing, drop into your heart. Let go of the rest of the distractions from the world around you and pray. And do the prayer right there. If you've got a technique, as Daniel was saying, if you've got a technique from your childhood religion that works for you, then do that. If you studied practical prayer and spiritual mind treatment, do that. by all means, those are the ones that are structured specifically to help us align our consciousness and invite new experiences. And if you haven't, we periodically do a practical prayer class or workshop, or you can take Beyond Limits, and we'll certainly be happy to teach you a thing or two about the way that we like to do effective prayer around here. And it's done as you believe. So when you pray, open yourself up to that new, rich, wonderful goodness, whatever it is that you're desiring. Again, I'm just delighted to have Daniel Nemad with us today. For those of you who are at our Equinox concert, I described the time that Dr. Proctor and the ministry class were doing a retreat in Maryland. I think it was at the Bolger Center, and Daniel did the music. And I told you about the inspiration that I had from the process that they did together. But when I first got there that morning, I sought Daniel out and I said, I have a request. And he's like, because musicians, everybody's always got a request. I said, I have a request. Can you do When I Pray? And he gave one of those smiles like, oh, yeah, we're going to do that anyway. And he just like reassured me, oh yeah, we'll do that, no problem. And it was actually a huge piece of the process that they did later that afternoon. But the reason that was so important to me is because that song had been a part of my spiritual practice for quite a while, as I went from being somebody who was interested in this stuff to being a practitioner. And at that point, I was getting ready to go into ministry school. And it was a hugely powerful song for me. The first time that I met Daniel was when I was in the Center for Spiritual Living in Paoli, Pennsylvania. And I was running the teen group there, or I wound up running the teen group there. And the teen group there started, it was actually answered prayer. We didn't have a teen program. We had 3 girls who hated each other. And they just did not get along. So he said, well, you want to go to a teen camp weekend? It's in February in Key West. And they said, okay. So we went to Key West in February. And like I said, when we left, they didn't like each other at all. By the time we drove from Miami all the way down to almost Key West, they were pretty good friends. They had a transformative experience while they were there, as did I. And by the time we were on our way home, they were best friends, all 3 of them. And changing planes at the airport in Atlanta, they said, we want to have a teen group just like they have in Fort Lauderdale. And every once in a while in the movies, you see like somebody says something and then the air shimmers and it's like something just happened. That was one of those moments. It was so powerful and so visceral that I knew that they were going to do that. And that was going to be transformative for them and for me. And I wound up, I think we had centers all up and down the Northeast, probably 15 or 20 of them, 150 people who were involved in doing teen activities. I just completely dove into it during my daughter's teen years. It was wonderful. And they all stayed friends, which was also wonderful. The first time that I met Daniel was in Paoli, and he had a mentee. It was one of the girls who was in the teen group, Emily Zoll. And they'd met at the Asilomar conference or some such. And so he was kind of guiding her and helping her and, how to do a little noodling on the piano. And so she took to it and has made a career out of music for herself. And one of the winter camps that we did, I did a Sunday morning talk, and I asked, and it's about being a beneficial presence and bringing transformation into the world. And I asked Emily if she'd sing one of Daniel's songs for me. And it's another one of those ones that was transformative after When I Pray. And the first time I heard it, it was a real downer. It was a negative song. It sounded like it was about dying. But it's about what we want to do with our lives instead. And there is a line in that song that every time I heard it made me tear up because it really resonated with me. And the same thing was true of Emily. And we were both in tears during that talk. As we're both resonating is, it's about being a beneficial presence and being helpful. And so Daniel has been transformative for me in many ways. And as I listen to last song again, I cry at other parts of the bridge in there because there are other ways beyond what I've done with kids and teens and children where I'm able to be a beneficial presence. All of which is by way of saying that prayer works. When you set an intention, when you make an invitation, when you open yourself up to new possibilities, when any of us does that, that universal creative law, that process that created everything, responds. It says yes. It says yes. So let the songs inspire you or guide you. Let that still small voice speak to you. Go into prayer. Make an invitation. Open yourself up to guidance. Let yourself be inspired. Let something new and transformative and wonderful come along. Because when you pray, the prayer works. And then you have a story. And then you have a bit of happiness. So invite something wonderful because you deserve it. And so it is. Thank you.
If this is my last song, if this is my final day, if tomorrow I'll be gone, what do I want to say? If this is my last song, if it's my time to go, when my body's moved on, what will I have to show? Oh, but fortune and fame, they scatter to the wind. The things that make a name just don't matter in the end. But is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and skies a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we can do? And does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, then I'm glad I came. If these are my last words for all of the earth to hear, if all that I have ever been is about to disappear, if these are my last words, there's nothing that I need to say. I have only tried to serve. It's never been about talking anyway. So much hurt there is to heal. It's hard to understand. All I can hope to feel is that I am doing what I can. Is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and skies a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we can do? And does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, then I'm glad I came. Have I given hope to the hopeless? Has a hungry soul been fed? Has a child stood a little bit taller because of something that I said? Have I left a little kindness? Have I eased a little pain? If so, then I'm glad I came. For that, I'm so glad I came. If this is my last song, what do I leave behind? What do I pass on if I am out of time?
Thank you, Daniel. That was beautiful. Thank you, Bill. We're going to take that energy into a little bit of meditation. So I invite you to get comfortable where you are. I like to sit straight, with my back straight, my shoulders over my hips, and my chin up a bit, and helps me to stay centered and focused. And just relax. Close your eyes if you'd like, or allow them to go to a soft focus. Just be here in this moment and breathe in and out. Let's take a nice, deep, cleansing breath, breathing in fully. And exhale with a sigh. Just feel your body relax. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. Which each breath, we're going to hold it at the top just a moment. Feel a little bit of tension. Then we're going to exhale fully and relax. With each breath, we're going to relax just a little bit more. Deep breath in. Hold. Exhale. Deep breath in. Hold. Exhale. Deep breath in. Hold. Hold a little longer. And exhale. Just feel the tension slip away. Within each of us is that divine spirit, our connection with the infinite. There's a seed planted that allows us to grow into our fullness, to realize our full expression of spirit. And allows us to say, then I'm glad I came. Doesn't matter if you think you know what it is. It doesn't matter if you have no idea what it is. It's there. And all you need to do is open to it. I invite you to repeat after me. I am open to my heart's desire. I am open to my heart's desire. That desire in our heart is the flame of the infinite burning. Open to that light. As we go into the silence, I am open to my heart's desire.
As we open to our heart's desire, our good pours in. We begin by getting a very clear idea of the tone and texture, the feeling, the atmosphere of the experience that we're desiring. And then we open to it by allowing everything that's not like it, by allowing all disbelief to fall away. And as we open to that new goodness, that creative law that creates everything responds and pours forth with that good that we're seeking. That infinite creative power that created everything continues to create. The same process of starting with intention, beginning with consciousness, and then allowing that to take form, allowing that creative law that created everything to take form. The law is always saying yes. That's all it ever does. It says yes. And because everything that exists is created by that one, means that we too are part of that one. We too are thinking with that same mind. We too are activating that same creative law. Each of us individually, each of us in our own way, but each of us exactly the same. So I know that the intentions, the desires, the invitations, the openings that each one of us are creating to bring more of what we experience as good, as loving, as harmonious, as prosperous, as delightful, as creative, as prosperous into our world. As we open to that goodness, as you set the invitation and make the intention known, the law responds. It says yes. It brings that good to us. I'm grateful for all of the good that's unfolding. I'm grateful for the awareness of this process. I'm grateful to be able to participate in this creative activity of setting that new experience in motion. And I'm grateful to be able to release this word of intention, that creative law that has always said yes. And so I let it be. I know it's so. And so it is. Amen. Take another deep, full breath in. Let it go. Bring your attention back to your body. Maybe wiggle your fingers and toes, shrug your shoulders. And bring your awareness back into the Zoom as Daniel does another song for us.
We've all heard this kind of story. Somebody's diagnosed that their time is suddenly short. And in the back of our minds, we wonder, what if that news was mine? Would we do more of the same with the moments that remain? Would we live like we were dying? Why wait? Why wait for that fateful fall, for that wake-up call? Why wait until it's too late? There is only today. We've all heard this kind of story. An earthquake strikes the coast of a distant land. It seems like every time we come together as humankind, we make a different choice. Kindness cuts through all the noise, and we're suddenly united. Why wait? Why wait for that pouring rain, for that hurricane? Why wait until it's too late? There is only today. Why wait? Oh. And when an ambulance goes by, everybody pulls aside. The holidays put smiles on every face. So tell me, what's the reason why we need excuses to decide we are part of only one human race? We've all heard this kind of story. Someone keeps her dream a secret all her life. Why wait? Why wait? 'Cause if we don't try, oh, that dream may die. Why wait until it's too late? Let the future fall away. Let regret evaporate. There is only today.
Thank you, Daniel.
Welcome.
So we spent the last hour or so planting some seeds in consciousness, inviting some new thoughts. So if anything has come up for you that you'd like to give voice to now, this is an opportunity to do that in a safe and nurturing space. Anybody have something? You can either wave your hand or press your reaction button to raise your little digital hand. Go ahead, Annie and Kate.
Annie.
No, that's what I figured, but it says Annie and Kate. I just read the cue card.
So I was just going to say to Daniel that the feeling self-important is kind of relevant today because I never heard your name before, but I have heard your songs over and over again. So you are touching people everywhere. And a lot of our spiritual classes that we do, Bill has played that one song, and I can't even tell you how many times I've cried during it. And, you know, I'm like, oh my gosh, this song. And I'm writing these, whatever practice we're doing. And it brought all that back to me. But like, even my child knows that song, My Soul is Welcome Here. When she was younger, she used to sing it all the time. Now she doesn't want to come to do any spiritual practice, but she knows your song. So I hope she feels that her soul is welcome wherever she is. And it's just nice and a nice inspiration. And thank you for being a part of New Thought Philadelphia, even though you probably didn't know you were.
That's nice of you. Thank you. And you're welcome.
Thanks, Annie. Anybody else? Carla Ann.
Hi, it's a lot of me today, so I'm going to talk fast. So, hi everyone, Daniel. I found out about New Thought through Mile High Church, and Reverend Teal, when he speaks of you, and I hear him on the podcast speak of you, and I never really knew much about you until I heard you at our spring fest. Mm-hmm. And I thank you, and your music is just so touching and beautiful, and it's amazing how it worked into the service. I used to take a lot of notes, and I haven't lately, but today in the services, but today I did, because I am open to my heart's desire, and the work I do has always been the work that I've meant to be doing. And I bring resources to people that are scared, and it makes their lives a little easier. And I'm grateful to be able to do that. And I guess I had a bunch of blocks, and the 5 classes that I've taken in the last year have helped to get rid of those blocks, as your music has, Daniel. And I hope that I can really serve the community. And I was thinking about all I'm doing and what can I continue to do as this has been going on, and like realization prayers and believing is seeing, and it just all is coming so in such an organized way into my mind. And I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful. And then the last thing I'll say, I forgot to say it earlier, my new job, the salary is 30% higher than the last 2 jobs that I had. And I'm gonna negotiate for more. So I'll be able to tithe, hopefully. Well, no, not hopefully, definitely. But like my increase will be my tithing. So thank you. Thank you all.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Carla Ann.
Can I just say one thing about blocks, Carla Ann? You remind me of something that I took when I first got to LA. I moved to LA from Chicago to make music for a living in like end of 1998. And one of the first things I did was I went looking for songwriting classes, just people to meet fellow songwriters and to find out a little bit about how the business worked. So I met this teacher who was this very, very talented songwriter and a very talented teacher. His name was Phil Swan. And one of the most common things people spoke up about in these, call them amateur songwriting classes, was the terror around writer's block, is what people would call it, right? And I'm sure they do it in songwriting classes as they do it as much in book writing classes. Writer's block. I can't think of something to write. I can't get myself to write. And Phil's response to one of those people, I'll never forget. Somebody said, I can't unblock to write. And Phil said, being an artist is 95% input and 5% output. If you aren't feeling like writing, go live your life and you will be inspired to write a song. And so when you say that you've been blocked in certain areas, maybe that's relevant and maybe it's not. But when you say you're blocked in certain ways, maybe you're in an input phase rather than an output phase. Maybe it's time to see things, notice things, feel things, experience things, try things before you find a way around or through whatever block you've been feeling. That's all. That's Phil Swan's advice, but it came to mind. Just go easy on yourself, basically.
Beautiful. Thank you. Dina, real quick, and then Carl Ann's turn again.
Okay, real quick.
Hi,
Well, beautiful, amazing service. Thank you so much for everything. I have an unusual request. Some of you know I do birth work, and I have a little family who has been working to bring their baby into this world, and she's pushing, and all prayers are welcome for this little family to have a safe, beautiful experience. Thank you.
Sure. Mom's name?
Sam.
Sam? Okay. Absolutely. Carl Ann?
And this time I was prepared and I'm not crying. New Thought Philadelphia is all about spreading the love. Our community is supported by our contributions. The gifts you share helps to fund our work in the world, and the way you shine your light spreads the love. We are grateful for every way that you share. We don't have a basket today, but there is a donate button on the website to make a donation by credit card or PayPal. You can also mail a check to our office in Ardmore. The offering affirmation is on the screen, and we'll say the affirmation together. I live
in an abundant
universe.
I am
I am
one
one with
infinite
the
source of
infinite
all
source of
good.
all good.
I am the center of conscious
Conscious
prosperity.
prosperity.
I enjoy the richness of life.
Richness of life.
I bless my gift.
I give.
I share my
Give my
gift
gift,
with joy.
attitude, and joy.
I know that as I give,
As I
I
give,
do
I do
receive.
receive.
So it is.
So it is.
Woohoo!
Thank you all. Daniel, one more song.
One more song. You know what, Bill? Let's do another song from the Water album. Several of you in speaking today have used a certain phrase that I used in a song from years and years ago. I wrote these Water songs, last song and this next one. I wrote them, I call them Water songs, sorry, because it's on an album called Water, but I wrote these back in 2006. I am Bill and I were talking a little bit about, but I'm a former, when I moved from Chicago to LA, I had been for 6 years a computer programmer for a living, and before then an economics major, and before then a recovering child of 2 lawyers. And so the cerebral side of me was well groomed, such that I absolutely was not raised to write songs for a living. And if I was going to write songs for a living, I was definitely not going to write songs about faith and trust. It was going to be, it was just going to not be that. That's not how we lived. We lived by making plans and agenda and organizing and preparing, none of which I do very well, actually. So this is a song from the Water album that some of you may resonate with. And thanks again for having me. I appreciate it. I've enjoyed my morning very much. And Bill mentioned my Facebook shows. It's not a for-profit plug. You're just invited to join me anytime. Monday nights I've been doing these live shows. Bill, I haven't been doing every day, not anymore, although I have done something like 175 or 180 shows of all kinds on Facebook since last March 20th. And yes, I am exhausted from it. And I've also done probably, I don't know, if I added up 70 or 80 church services, I would guess. So performed way more than I would have. And I would have normally been on an airplane every weekend or two and, done all kinds of performance. I had a full schedule last year that cleared in March, like everybody else's schedule cleared. But in its place came these very surprisingly rewarding and lovely experiences. I never thought I'd be on Facebook, and I never thought I'd care, and I certainly never thought I'd be grateful to Facebook, because it may be the evil corporation that takes over the world. But in the meantime, it's really provided an amazing service. So my Facebook handle is Daniel Namad USA, because there's actually another Daniel Namad out there. Daniel Namad USA. If you feel like checking out the concerts, all of them are still there on the videos page, and live Monday nights at 10 o'clock your time. I've been doing live now for 2/3 of a year. I have no plans on quitting. So you're welcome to join me anytime. All right, here we go. One more song from the Water album. Thanks again. I've been planting seeds on the ground, watering them with my sweat and tears, scattering them all around. Guess it's what I'm supposed to do with my years. The funny thing is, I may know what I've planted, but never what will show. It always seems to be a perfect mystery. Whatever grows will grow, whatever dies will die, whatever works will work, whatever flies will fly, whatever fails will fail. What's meant to soar will soar. I am planting seeds, nothing more. Ooh. Sometimes I still like to pretend I know what the harvest will be, but I always find out in the end it was never really up to me. The funny thing is, when I just do my work and simply trust, it always seems that life is looking out for me. Whatever grows will grow, whatever dies will die, whatever works will work, whatever flies will fly, whatever fails will fail. What's meant to soar will soar. I am planting seeds, nothing more. And I am only one of billions of seeds. When all is said and done, I just do what's mine to do and let it be. Whatever grows will grow, whatever dies will die, whatever works will work, whatever flies will fly, whatever fails will fail. What's meant to soar will soar. I am planting seeds. Whatever grows will grow, whatever dies will die, whatever works will work, whatever flies will fly, whatever fails will fail. What's meant to soar will soar. I am planting seeds, planting seeds. I am planting seeds, nothing more.
Woohoo!
There you go.
Woo!
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Daniel. That's wonderful. And just a quick reminder for everybody that Daniel is one of the performers featured in the Anton Mini Retreat Conference, which is coming up on Friday. So he will be there actually doing 3 different pieces. He's in the All-Star Concert.
That's right.
doing-
It's an all-star concert plus me. I just want to say. I don't know if I'd call my concert an all-star concert. It's all stars plus Danny. There you go.
Okay. Whatever it takes to activate your modesty, that's just fine. Also doing a power talk and also leading a meditation. Amy Steinberg's going to be there. James Mellon's going to be there. Christy Snow, who you guys have met, is going to be there. It is going to be spectacular, and it's free. Did I mention it's free? It's on Friday. Information is on the website. So thank you, Daniel. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Breen, everybody who has been sharing. Let us close by making another little cacophony. So go ahead and unmute your microphone. Take the virtual hand of the people who are near you and repeat after me. I am love.
I am love.
I am light.
I am light.
I let the love flow.
I let love flow.
And I let my light shine.
I
let my light shine.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Amen.
Hey.
And yeah.